5 free files that you can use with your Cricut and start making Halloween projects today. Let's go. Are you looking for a way to get some free SVGs, PNG files to use alongside your Cricut? Whether you have the Cricut Maker, Cricut Explorer, Cricut Joy, or even the Cricut Mug Press, today I'm going to show you guys how you can get free files from designbundles.net. We actually have a free file resource for you guys that has thousands of designs where you guys can start crafting today with those free files. So let's go ahead and jump on over here to designbundles.net and I'm going to show you where to find them. So if you come over to designbundles.net, all you have to do is come where it says free designs right here. Once you do so, you're going to come where it says free design resources, and from here we have everything from Canva for Cricut. You have stuff for sublimation as well as Glowforge. So you can see over here on the side, you can really break those down to clip arts, SVGs, Procreate, graphics, textures, all of those things. And then you can even use the search bar for a term, whether you're looking for something for fall, Halloween, Christmas, you can find it right here and you can really narrow it down. It's not like other websites where you have 5 free files for the month and they change it out. No, we have tons of resources here for you so that way you can start crafting today. So we're going to go ahead and scroll through here. Another quick thing I want to highly recommend and point out is we do have where you can actually put in your phone number to get an SMS message every single time we add new free files. So I highly encourage you to sign up for that if you want to know every time we post new free stuff. All right, so scrolling through here, if you come to this page, you're going to right away just kind of see some new stuff popped in here. You can see we've got some really fun stuff for fall and Halloween going on. But if you really want to narrow this down and I'm looking for some really fun Halloween projects, I can simply come up to the search bar here with inside of the free design resources and type out Halloween. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to hit enter, and that is really going to narrow down all of our Halloween designs. So as you can see here, there is tons of them, lots of fun stuff going on. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick scroll through here just to show you all of the fun things right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the ones that we're using today, and I already have those tabs open so it's a lot quicker, but you can see them right here as well. But I'm going to go ahead and click right here. So our very first one, we have this really fun printable, which is perfect for a kid's craft. So if you guys are looking for something, whether you're a teacher or your mom and you're at home with the kiddos for, you know, the Halloween or the holidays and you're looking for a fun craft, grandma, you want to hang out with those kiddos, here's a fun one for you. So you can actually print and cut these out with your scissors, or you can do the print and cut with your Cricut, which I'm going to show you guys today. So this is a really fun one for the kiddos to color with. They could pass these out in class and all of those things. We're going to be making these really fun suckers here. So these would be perfect to pass out for the trick-or-treaters this year. Once again, classroom, you can make these for the kiddos, all sorts of fun stuff here. So we're going to be making some of these using our Cricut as well. Here's another one full of design. So this is a free bundle here where you can make a cute little couple shirts if you guys are going to a Halloween party and things like that. We are going to go ahead and do this one right here. I'm her boo and I'm her gal. I never know if I'm saying that right, but I think those are so cute. But there's lots of them here. You could sublimate with them. You could use your Cricut. These would be perfect for glow in the dark. I'm going to be doing a really fun glitter one today. So moving right along, I wanted to show you that we even have patterns, and I want you to think outside of the box when it comes to patterns. So for example, this comes with 16 digital papers and they are so cute. You could do scrapbooks with these. You could create those little scrapbooks. You could do fun little gift bags, so you could print them out and use some double-sided tape to create some little goodie bags. All sorts of ideas, but today I'm going to be using my Cricut mug press with this one. We are going to print out 2 designs one time using Canva to go ahead and be able to make 2 different mugs, lots of different ideas, and we're going to do full wraps with them. So I love this one as well. Moving right along, here's a really fun SVG that you could use HTV to throw this on a t-shirt. You could do a sign if you wanted to, even throw it on a coffee mug. But today we are going to do a test. We're actually going to screen print. So we're going to create a stencil with this one. We're going to screen print with toilet bowl cleaner. So we are going to use a really fun one today. We're going to use Clorox bleach here, but this is a gel actually designed to clean your toilets, and we're going to use it to do a screen print. So it's going to be so much fun. All right, so now that we've walked all the way through designbundles.net and I showed you where to find those free resources, we're gonna go ahead and start making some projects. So our very first project that we're gonna do here is this one. Like I said, using that toilet bowl bleach cleaner, we're gonna create a screen print. So what I have here is a screen by Speedball. I have all of the supplies I'm using today linked down below. So you can actually even make these yourself with some wood and some screen. So honestly, you can definitely DIY this. You're gonna use adhesive vinyl, and what we're gonna do is we're going to mirror it. So you wanna create it just like you would if you were using HGV, and we're gonna make sure and mirror, because what we did was we put it on the back side. So you can see that it's perfectly here. So I'm going to bring you guys back down. You can see my design is perfect, but we actually put it on this side of the screen. So you want it on the back side, so that way you're not rubbing up against that texture. So the very last thing that I actually need to do is go back on this side and peel off my transfer tape. So I use transfer tape just as if we were putting it on a sign or something like that. And I'm going to go real slow at an angle and remove it. So now what we have done is we have created the perfect screen. So we're ready to go. So the supplies you're gonna need for this first project, we've got our screen, we've got our stencil on here. I've got a piece of wood. You could use chipboard, you could use an old piece of cardboard. This piece of wood actually came from the Dollar Tree. It's in the $5 section because we all know they're switching it up. But this was a $5 piece of wood we can use over and over for projects. So I actually got it for something else, but I've decided to use it here. So this is going to allow us that nice stiff surface. So it was $5. So this is just a cutting board. If you've got it extra around the house, a piece of wood or something that's flat and smooth, go ahead and use it. And so next up, I've got a piece of parchment that I'm going to be able to put on top of that as well, just to help protect everything. And then I'm going to be using a black t-shirt. So for this, I'm using 100% cotton and black. So there's a few ways that we could do this. So whenever we go to screen print this, you could get like a yellow effect, which will look really cool, similar to what you've seen in the design, or we could throw it outside and possibly get it a little bit whiter. So while I'm starting this project first, I'm gonna go ahead and put this outside so it can start to do its process while we work on everything else, and then I'll show you guys what it's gonna look like here in a bit. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna go ahead and put this inside. All right, so what I've done here is I've put this inside the t-shirt. We'll just kind of move it down to where we need it to be. All right. Get it nice and straight, and then we're gonna get ready to put our screen right on top of that. All right, so now that we have our screen where we want it, so we're just gonna make sure we're coming down, trying to get it nice and centered, and then you're gonna be down around 3 fingers or so on the shirt. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take a pair of gloves. You really want to get a squeegee. I just could not find mine before we started this live. So the squeegee that you can actually get for these are much bigger. So they're much wider, and they are actually made for screen printing. You really want to get that one, right? So what I'm actually using here is just this little rubberized squeegee here. You could definitely use like this squeegee if you wanted to, but I would highly recommend just get the correct squeegee that goes for screen printing because they're much bigger. They're going to cover a lot more surface much quicker. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our Clorox here, and then we're just going to get us some. We want to work pretty quickly, right? So we're going to go ahead and just get ourselves some right up here at the top like this. All right. And we're going to start to work this down. So I'm going to work pretty quickly. So I'm going to take that squeegee, and I'm just going to go ahead and work my way down, pushing it into the t-shirt, just like so. I'm going to come to that next section, and I'm just going to keep going across. All right, so now the moment of truth. We're gonna go ahead and lift it up. So I don't know whether it worked or not, but we're definitely gonna check it out. So I'm gonna try to lift it in one way. So whether I bring it from this way or that way and just kind of quickly lift it off of the t-shirt. There we go. All right, so as you can see, it's working here, it's doing its thing. I'm gonna quickly take this outside and let the sun do the rest of the work. Now in the meantime, I'm leaving that wood inside. So as you can see, I've stuck this out in the sun for around 10 minutes or so, and this is what it already looks like. So I'm keeping that board in there, that parchment paper, so I don't get any bleach on the back of the t-shirt until I can throw it in the wash. Now, another fun thing you could do is take a paintbrush with some bleach and sling it on the t-shirt, so that way you can get some of those bleach splatters as well. All right, so are you guys ready for project number 2. So project number 2, we are going to create a matching couples t-shirt here that's going to be perfect, like I said, for those Halloween parties or for you just to wear all Halloween long. So I've got these super cute ones right here. So what we're going to go ahead and do is start on one t-shirt to the next. So what's really, really fun about this one is I'm using this Caesar sparkle, and so it is a glitter HTV without the texture. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up so you guys can see that it is gorgeous. Now, another really fun thing with this would have been to use the glow in the dark, because it would have been white vinyl on top of the black, but at night it would glow in the dark. So that's something else. But today I wanted to make sure and show you guys, like putting an orange on the black, how that would pop off with that glitter accent. So cute. So what I've got here is my Cricut Easy Press. I have it set at 320 for 30 seconds. So I just simply cut this out. I took those free files over to Cricut Design Space, sized them out, and cut them out. So easy. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll work on this one first. So to find that center, we can simply just fold this in half, squeeze that center. We're gonna go ahead and line this up. You wanna bring it down around 3 to 4 fingers or so. You can do that just like this. And you're just simply lining it up with that neck tag. All right, so we are ready to go. You wanna make sure that you've already pulled out the moisture and do a little lint roll. And then we're just gonna go right on top. Once again, today I'm using that 10 by 12. So this is the Cricut 10 by 12. You could definitely pull this off with that 9 by 9. Even if you need to press it twice, you could use your bigger heat presses that are 15 by 15. So this is gonna be perfect if you are running late for that Halloween party, but you need a costume. This is good enough. All right, so here we go. This is gonna be a warm pill, so we're gonna go ahead and be able to pill it just like that. Now, Cricut does recommend that you flip the t-shirt over and press it for another 15 seconds. So as you can see, we have t-shirt number 1. Hopefully you can see some of that shift happening there. Those colors are so much fun. I'll kind of bring it up here, so hopefully you can see that glitter. It's so cute. All right, so let's go ahead and make the second one. And there you have it. We've created a matching set of t-shirts here in like 5 minutes. So definitely make sure you guys check this one out. For project number 3, we are going to do a full wrap mug using the Cricut mug press. So we're going to use some of those pattern papers. I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through Canva really fast to show you how I made these pages. All right, so back over here on designbundles.net, this is the papers that we're using once again. So this is that 16 digital papers. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take these, download them, and take them over to Canva. Once you're over here in Canva, what you're gonna do is create an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So that's what your blank canvas is going to be. You're just gonna go to custom and choose an 8.5 by 11 because that's what we're printing on with our, whether you're Sawgrass or your Epson sublimation printers. So as you can see, I've lined both of these designs. So if you see, if I hover, you can see that box is actually going off to the side. Same with this side because I lined them up. Now, how did I do something like this? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and delete these. I'm gonna start over really fast so I can show you. So I've got that blank I was talking about, and what you're gonna do is you're going to bring in that design just like this, and if you start to bring it over to one side, you see how I'm getting that line right here in the middle? So once you do that, stop. Then you're gonna grab a corner like this. We're gonna drag it out here. We're gonna stop once you get that line across the top, and we're gonna do the exact same thing on this side. So no matter what you do, it's going to stay on this side of the paper. So now we're gonna do the same thing for the other side. And actually, I wanna point out too, one more tip. You see how my ghosts are going in this direction? I want them to wrap around my mug in this direction. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this rotate, and we're gonna rotate it right there until it says 90 degrees. Boom. So now I'm gonna do the exact same thing with my next design. I'm gonna bring in the next one here. And before you get started, you could go ahead and rotate it that 90 degrees. And then we're gonna do the same thing. See how we get that line there? You may see a little bit of a dotted line. And then we're going to take that side just like this. So boom, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing with the other side. So what you're looking for is seeing that line all the way across. I think I want to go ahead and double check this one more time. Looks good. So when you're done, it should look something like this. And the reason why this works, so this allows you to do 2 mugs at one time. So for example, if I was doing the same design, I could actually just cover that whole sheet. So instead of getting it in the middle, I would cover the whole sheet. So then I could do 2 mugs of the same one. But if you wanted to do 2 different mugs, this is the way to do it. Next, you're gonna go to share, you're gonna go to download, and then you're just gonna hit download again. And then once you do that, you're going to have that perfect design ready to add to your printer. So as you can see, we've got our design. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna find that file. You're going to, say for example, if you have a Sawgrass printer, you should have a folder on your desktop that says Sawgrass Smart Folder. You're just gonna drop it right inside, and then your Sawgrass Print Manager is gonna open up just like so. From here, you want to go ahead and choose a ceramic mug for your substrate, and then you can see it's right here. It's ready to go. You're going to hit print. And then once you print, you should have something just like this. All right, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to take our paper trimmer. I'm going to go ahead and cut right here in the middle, just like that. All right, so once you cut them in half, you have your two pieces here. They're going to be perfect. So if you have a 15-ounce mug, these are going to be a perfect wrap for your height. Now, how do we figure out our width? So you're going to take your tape measure here, and then we're just going to figure out. So I know that we need to be away from our handle. Before you turn on your mug press, you can actually measure the inside of this to figure out how much you're gonna be able to press. So I'm just gonna come over maybe about a ½ an inch or an inch away from my handlebars here. And I wanna say maybe like a ½ an inch. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it just like so. So I know I wanna do about, let's say about 9 1/4. So I'll come back over to my paper trimmer and we're gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim my sides so that way my length is gonna be about 9 1/4. All right, so now I have them both perfectly sized out. I'm gonna go ahead and press this one today. It's so cute. So we are gonna go ahead and do just as normal. We're going to clean our coffee mug. We're gonna remove any sort of oils and debris. And then we are going to take some heat tape. So I'm gonna go ahead and have those ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Just like that. I'll set one aside here, and then we're just going to go ahead and line this up. All right, so once you have one side and you have it nice and tight, we're going to go ahead and place our second piece of tape. So you should have something that looks like this. So we are almost heated up and we're going to get ready to press it. All right, so now that we're all heated up, we're ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing down in here. And I'm gonna go ahead and press it. All right, so the Cricut mug press is gonna take around 5 minutes or so. So while we're waiting on this guy, we're gonna move on to the next craft. All right, so jumping back over to design bundles, you guys can see this is that really fun one I was showing you guys, creating those fun coloring cards for the kiddos, whether it's for a gift or for somebody at the house, whether it's your kiddo or your teacher making them for the classroom. So we're gonna head on over to Cricut Design Space so I can show you how to make them. All right, so over in Cricut Design Space, you can see that we have 2 of the files. So I brought 2 of the files in here. Now there's a few things that you have to do because Cricut has switched it up whenever it comes to using files when you bring in uploaded files. So what you have to do is a couple of things, so easy, all right? So you're gonna see a few layers over here. So let's go ahead and start with this one right here. So what we've got here, so this basic cut, which is gonna be our drawing, which is our printing cut. Our printer is going to print this out. We're gonna go ahead and change it from a basic cut to a printing cut. Now, if you wanna use your pins, you can definitely do that. So you can change it, same thing, right up here, you could change it to a draw. So you could change it to a pen or a marker if you wanted to, all right? So next up, we have the to and from. So we're gonna do the same thing. So these pieces right here, I'm gonna change those to a printing cut as well. All right, so next up, I'm gonna go ahead and keep going. So this one right here is a basic cut. Those are those 2 lines that are in between that's gonna keep it attached. We need those to stay attached. We don't wanna cut them. We wanna do a score line. So we're gonna change this to score, and then these ones here are going to cut. So those pieces are gonna be cut out. And then for the next one here, this is the center of the card. So that way if you wanna fold it, we're gonna go ahead and do a score line as well. All right, so then the next one here is the basic cut. So this right here is gonna do that cut for us. So we're gonna go ahead and leave that one as well. All right, so that one's ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up and do the next one. All right, so one last thing I want to show you guys. You see how this one is different than the one on the right? What I've done is I've flattened this so that way whenever I go to do the print and cut, the Cricut does not try to cut out all of these pieces right here. It's super easy to do. So you see how this one has that border? We're gonna fix this one now. So the very first thing you want to do is select it. We're gonna go ahead and hit detach. And then we're gonna go over here and we're gonna go to ungroup. So we're gonna make sure that everything is ungrouped. And then we're going to grab our print and cut pieces. So all of your print and cut pieces along with the main big cut piece. So we're gonna go ahead and select the print and cut. We're going to hold down the shift, select our second one so you can see both of those dark highlights. And then we're gonna hold down the shift and select our main print and cut. So we want that main outline. So what's gonna happen is we're going to flatten this so that way it only cuts around that border. So we're gonna go ahead and hit flatten. So now you can't see our other pieces. All you have to do is go to arrange, send to the back, and you're gonna see them again. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead and select all of those again, and I'm gonna go ahead and just hit attach. So that way I make sure everything's together still. So now we're gonna go ahead and hit make it. All right, so from here, you can see that we are ready for the print and cut. So this is what your screen should look like. So you can't see a border around these pieces because it's going to cut. We've got our score lines, and then these are our print pieces. So you should see a black border all the way around, which means you are ready for print and cut. We're gonna go ahead and hit continue. And then from here, we're gonna get ready to send it over to the printer. So we're gonna go ahead and hit send to printer. And inside of my printer, I actually have a heavier cardstock ready to go. So now I've got my printer set up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the add bleed line, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit print. Once you send it over to your printer, you should have something that looks like this. So once you've got this, you're going to take your blue mat and you're just gonna go ahead and load it into the corner. So you just wanna make sure everything's nice and straight, and you're just gonna smooth it down just like so. So over here on Cricut Design Space, I'm gonna choose medium cardstock, and then we're gonna get ready to load it. So I'm gonna go ahead and load this just like so. And then from here, I'm gonna go ahead and change it to the scoring stylus. So if you guys don't have the scoring wheel and you're not using the Cricut Maker, it's gonna tell you to use a scoring stylus. So if you have the Cricut Maker and you don't have the scoring wheel, you can actually edit your tools as well. So what you can do is come to edit tools, and then you can choose that you wanna use that scoring stylus, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and use that wheel though, because I do have it. So that's the very first one it's asking for. So I'm gonna open this housing, remove that fine point blade, and then we're gonna insert our scoring wheel. So we're gonna go ahead and close that. And now we're ready to hit the go button. So what's gonna happen now is the Cricut's gonna bring it in, it's gonna make sure I have everything correctly, and it's gonna add those score lines for us. Once it gets to the score lines, then it's going to ask us to insert our fine point blade back in here, and it'll do all the cutting. So remember, whenever it comes to Cricut, they're gonna score first and then cut last. All right, so now we are ready to switch out those blades. So we're gonna pop that guy open, get our next one in here, and close. So all we gotta do again is hit the go button. All right, so now that we're done, we're gonna go ahead and hit that unload button. I'm gonna scoot this out of our way here. We're going to flip it over and peel them off of the mat. This is gonna help it from preventing from rolling up on us. We'll scoot that out of our way, and what you should be left with is something like this. So all you're gonna be doing is pulling these forward. You've got that score line for you. So you're going to have something that looks like this. Now you see we can actually score these, we can fold them backwards if we want to. So that way if you wanted to tape this down, you could definitely do that and have your crayons on the back and the front, or you could just leave them like this. So you can even completely get rid of that score line if you're not even gonna utilize it inside of Cricut Design Space. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and fold our last two here. And so whenever you're inside of Cricut Design Space, you don't wanna resize these because they're already sized for you to fit those crayons. So definitely don't play around with those sizes. You just wanna leave them alone. So that way you can put these. Now, if you were gonna change them so you could put ink pens or something different, you could definitely do that, but just make sure that you kind of keep in mind that these are already ready for you. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put my crayon. So I'm thinking perfectly here that we've got a yellow. Now I wanna show you, these are really tight here. So to get these in, I'm just twisting them. So I'm just kind of twisting and then pushing. So what I'm really excited is these are going to help hold your crayons in place very nicely. So you do not have to worry about them falling out. And so I'm really excited about that because look at this, perfection. So whenever you hand these to the kiddos, they're not just falling all over the place. So these are designed out really, really nice for you. So you guys can see how stinking cute that is. So you're just gonna do the exact same thing for this one. So just figure out whatever you think works best. So maybe we will do a white one even though the thing is already white, and then we can do an orange there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. And there you guys have it. How stinking cute are these? They are adorable, so easy to make. I do love how they're gonna hold them in place. So that way, if you're gonna be passing these out for Halloween, you can toss them in a bucket. You don't have to worry about all night long getting those crayons back in there. So it takes a little bit of work, just twist them in there. It really didn't take too long, honestly, but it's going to allow you to get from point A to point B. So I'm so excited about this one. So definitely make sure you guys create this one for the kiddos this year. All right, so we are ready for our last craft. So we need cardstock, and you're gonna need some suckers, and then possibly either some little glue dots like this or a double-sided tape runner. You can use glue, whatever you want to use. So we've got some suckers. I'm just using some of like the Tootsie Roll ones here, and then we're gonna be using this design. Now I size these out to around 6.5 high to about 6 inches high. So what you can do is simply measure your sucker to see how big it is, so that way you know. And then you can bring in, for example, a circle here. My sucker is around 1 inch, so I can go ahead and put 1 inch. And that way I can see about how that's going to look with this, right? So I can see how this is gonna be and how it's gonna work with that. So I think these are gonna be perfect. I have one that is with the black, and then I have one that is with the orange. So we're gonna go ahead and hit make it. I'm gonna tell it that we're using the mat. We're gonna hit continue. Now what's really cool is I'm gonna do this on one mat. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and come over here. We're gonna move this, hit the 3 dots, move object, and then we're gonna move it over to that very first mat. So I'm gonna go ahead and just move these over here. So I'll move the black to the right, the orange to the left. We're gonna go ahead and hit continue. And then we're gonna go ahead and choose our cardstock. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and load. So the black we had on this side over here. So we're just gonna load that on our mat. We're gonna load our orange on this side over here. There we have it. And then we're gonna choose medium cardstock. And now we're ready to load it. So we're just gonna go ahead and come right over here to our Cricut. I'll bring this in so you guys can see a little bit better. And then we're gonna go ahead and hit that load button and let it cut it out for us. So this is gonna be a pretty quick craft. So while it's cutting that out, I'm gonna go ahead and prep up, get my scissors ready and all of the things. All right, so as you can see, we've got our nice little cutout bat here. So we're gonna go ahead and proceed forward with this one because I lost the pumpkin in the process. So what you're simply going to do is you're going to fold it in half. So it's already got little lines, so it does these little cuts that makes it so easy to fold. So after this, you're going to have a hole. You're gonna see that hole there, which is going to allow you to put your stick through here. And then you may have to kind of twist to get your wrapper to go down in there. And then you're going to have it pop just like that. So from here, you can go ahead and add some little foam dots here just to hold that in, or some double-sided adhesive, if you will. So this is just another fun item to add to that Halloween bucket. So now we've got our little suckers here. We've got 4 different designs here, and then you can throw in these little coloring cards as well. Once again, perfect for a t-shirt to pass out in the classroom, or a mom to make, or dad, or uncle, or grandpa, or whoever to pass out to the kiddos as well. But I really love the way that this one came out. Now, if you want it to hold in place, you can definitely just take a couple pieces of these dots. So I'm gonna go ahead and get one going here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get a dot on this side, as well as this side right over here. All right, and then we're just gonna go ahead and press them down, and that's just gonna help hold it in place. So it's got my sucker in there and it's not going anywhere. So you see, and I just add one on each side. I really love this. It's just like a little glue dot runner. So I don't have a whole bunch of adhesive, it's just one little tiny dot, but there you guys have it. So stinking cute. And there you have it. I've created 5 projects with free files. So all 5 of these was using free SVGs, even PNGs if you will, with a coffee mug, but all of these were created with our Cricut. Once again, free files. So make sure you guys definitely head on over to designbundles.net. If you guys recreate these, please definitely make sure you join our Facebook community group so that way we can see all the projects that you're making. Please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.